joke just to loosen things up. So you go back and see the talking dog, he's there in the back. So the salesman goes back and says, "What's your story, Mr. Dog?" He says, "Yeah, I talk. I went to school, graduated top of my class, had a business, served in the military, and now I'm chilling out here at the farm." He went back to the farm and said, "The dog talks and you're only charging $10? He says, "Yeah, because the dog's a liar." Mic is not on. Is the mic on? All right, so just have fun today. Didn't laugh like that. I told him that joke. He said, "Tell that to the inductees. They'll love it." So
It's you're blaming him.
and it was under 2 minutes, so he was really happy with it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, everybody. I'll see you out there a little bit later on.
I would like to thank our banquet organizers, Ron Anderson and Teresa Dunbar, for their many hours of details. 3 postponements since last April. Thank you very much. Many thanks to our selection committee of Gary Becker, Kathy Long, and Seth Bruner for all their efforts. I would like to take a moment and explain how the nomination process works. I've had a number of people ask me throughout that I run into how someone gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. You only get inducted into the Hall of Fame if someone nominates you. And what you have to do is someone has to go online, DelcoAthletesHallOfFame.org. If you think somebody's worthy, there's the whole thing is set up. You just click onto it, fill it out, send it to the selection committee, and they'll do the rest. Lastly, I would like to thank you for your support and loyalty to our inductees. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than having family and friends enjoy your success. There is an old saying that goes, heroes are remembered, but legends never die. Today, a new group of legends will become members of our prestigious organization. Thank you again for your loyalty and support. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, the pride of Eddystone and the Ridley School District, Mike Iannacci. Mike.
Thank you, President Leary. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to one of the greatest days in Delco sports history. This is a living sports history lesson. And before we get started, I want to recognize any of those in the audience right now who over the past, however long it's been, first responders, nurses, doctors, policemen, and firemen who are in attendance, please rise to get a round of applause. Really thought there'd be more doctors here, but anyway, I do have a surprise for the board. They didn't know this, but I almost had a guest speaker for this afternoon. Philadelphia 76er guard Ben Simmons was going to be the guest speaker. I contacted Ben. He said, no, I'll pass on that. So, let's meet this afternoon's, you had to watch the Atlanta game to get that one. Let's meet this afternoon's honorees and inductees. The recipient of the Humanitarian Award, Patricia Muscanti. The recipient of the Robert Bob Finucane Memorial Award, Joanne Patterson. The recipient of the Mike Mulholland Team's Long and Foster Real Estate Coach of the Year, Keith Broom. Now let's meet our inductees. Natalie Capuano. Bill Corin. Renee Heichel Cuddy. Mike Doyle. Alfie Fioravani accepted his longtime teammate George McVeigh. Tara Rawak Hohenschel. Ray Johnston. Nancy Keeley. Jana Gifford Law. Ashley Montecchio. Jenny Coyne Moran. Bobby Morgan. Chris Pacenti. And Mike Rickey. Special thanks to our program sponsors, Cirilli Associates Incorporated, the Mike Mulholland Team at Long and Foster Real Estate, Premier Orthopedics, Jan Joel Memorial Homes and Crematorium, Ernal Company Incorporated, Team Toyota of Glen Mills, and KBX Golden. We salute all our program sponsors and all those who have purchased ads and stuck with us through 5 different date changes. We also thank Michael's Sandwich Shop. We'll have more to say about Michael's a little bit later on, and the Delaware County Daily Times. I ask you at this time to please join me in a moment of silence for those members who we have lost since we last were together. Their names are listed in today's program. Thank you. I ask you to please stand for the pledge to the flag and remain standing for the invocation to be delivered by Reverend John Cartwright. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reverend Cartwright.
Would you join me as we pray together? Would you join me as we pray together? Please bow with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this occasion. What a joyous occasion, God, to have family and friends gather together to honor these athletes and coaches and special people. And we know, God, that every good gift comes from you. So we acknowledge today that they've received these special abilities, Lord, from you. We thank you, God, also for this food. Thank you for providing for all of our needs. We pray for our country, Lord. We ask you, God, that you would help us during this time of turmoil and difficulty. We are looking to you, God. We know that you're the only one who can help us. We thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, whom you gave, so that he would die for our sins and rise again. And we rejoice in his salvation, which comes freely by your grace. And we rejoice in all these blessings and ask your blessings on this time together. In Jesus' name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen.
Please enjoy your dinner. Well, we finally have got here, huh? It has been quite a run. You know, typically we do have a Team of the Year award given. This year, I think the Team of the Year award is President John Leary and his board of directors of the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame. You know, the common theme that brings you to this most recent recognition is your success and achievement. Today is a time to reflect on those who have brought you to this place, whether it be a supportive family, a trusted teammate, or a beloved coach. As we begin our induction ceremonies for 81st induction dinner, please accept our deepest congratulations. No need to applaud everything I say, but whoever was doing that, that's good. Nick has me on the clock too, so it'll only slow things down if you applaud and laugh at everything that I say tonight. Now, for the inductees and honorees, due to COVID, we used to give out a free cheesesteak or hoagie for the shortest acceptance speech from Michael's Sandwich Shop. Now, I've been told to waive that this year, but Nick says we're not waiving the 2-minute rule. So, if someone comes up and does an incredible thank you, that's it, thank you, you win a hoagie or a cheesesteak from Michael's Sandwich Shop. Not a bad deal. I don't expect most of you to do it. Most of you are sitting out there saying, he sure looks athletic. Wonder what he played in growing up. Thank you for noticing. I was selected as the alternate for the 12-year-old Eddie Stone All-Star team in 1974. Eddie Stone is a unique community. When I was selected as one of the alternates, the reason given is we only could afford 10 uniforms, and they selected 12 players.
So my only claim to fame was towards the end of the tournament season, two of the top players who now, one of them happens to be my brother-in-law, went away on a camping trip. And I called the coach and I said, hey, coach, can I get Louis' uniform and play tonight in the Aston tournament against the Chester B team? Now, the Chester B team at that point, the A team was in Louisiana playing for a national championship. We were playing the B team, and I thought we were playing the Harlem Globetrotters. They came out and they were dunking, and we were from Eddystone. So finally, the game was totally out of control, and the coach felt it was safe to put me in. It was about 72-18. We were playing at Northerly Middle School, right next to the pool, so the chlorine smell was coming into the gym. I'm bringing the ball up the floor, and the coach says, Mike, take your time. And I thought he said, take a timeout. It's 73-19 at the point. He said, why would I want to call timeout? I just want to get out of here. Then I went to St. James High School and made it almost to the first cut for the 9th grade basketball team. Yeah. The last inter-squad scrimmage, I made a few shots, and I knew I was in trouble because I ran by and the coach says, what's your name? So there's nobody more qualified to do this than me, because I've watched a lot of great players from benches and stands throughout my entire non-playing career. So I want to congratulate the inductees. I want to congratulate the honorees. Two of our inductees and one of our honorees are unable to be with us this evening due to health reasons. Bob DeCriccio, longtime leader of the Briarcliff Athletic Association. Hope to honor him at our April dinner, along with Mark Brewster, Ridley graduate, longtime coach at Swarthmore, Nether Province, and Strathaven. We hope to induct and honor them at our April 2022 dinner. And Dan Giroux, who played at Springfield, then on at Richmond. He can't be with us. He has a job with the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA, so they're in season. So we will make sure that Dan Giroux gets his plaque. Our first award of the evening is the Humanitarian Award. Inducted previously in this organization for an outstanding bowling career, she, like many of us, were recruited to serve on the board by our dear departed Executive Director, Joe Cirilli. Since 1988, she served as the treasurer and the corresponding secretary, and this dinner for many years was successful because of her tireless work, making phone calls, returning emails, and setting the seating chart. She was the glue that kept it all together. With her respect to tradition, her striving to do what is right and what is fair was always up front. It is with great pleasure that I present the Humanitarian Award to one of the prouder West Catholic graduates I've ever met, Patricia Miscanti.
Mike, you're not even in the running for the hoagie. I had a few things that I was going to say, but it's already in the program, which I wasn't aware of, so we can skip over that. But one thing I wanted to say is when I first agreed to help out with the organization, little did I think that I would be standing up here 33 years later receiving an award for something that I enjoyed doing the whole time. But I've watched the organization grow year to year, and I played a small part in recognizing many extraordinary athletes from Delaware County, and we do have many. For those of you not familiar with our organization, here's a short synopsis. I've seen leadership change hands from Joe Cirilli and Tommy Blythe, Joe Volpone, sadly to say our MC, Mike Iannacci, but we didn't listen to any of his jokes, and currently John Leary. Few of you may remember some of our growing pains, finding suitable locations for our dinners. We were at the old Concordville Inn, the Log Cabin, the Ramada at the airport, which was a scary experience because the night of the dinner we found out that they'd had us booked for the following week and not that night. And we had to scramble around to find another place. but it worked out. We went to September. Some of you may not even be aware of that. And we've been here at the Concordville for several years and very happy with it. Luncheon meetings we had at different places in the county. And last but no means my greatest accomplishment, I guess you would call it, is the fact that my son and I are a mother-son members of the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame. So thank you again for this honor.
When the gym doors were unlocked and the field lights went on, our recipient was always there to support her teams. Over the past 20 years, she has solely oversaw the Haverford athletic teams as the school's athletic director. She served as the district chairperson for girls basketball and lacrosse and was a leading force within the Central League. In the 2019-2020 season, the football team made a memorable run in the district playoffs, and the boys basketball team captured their first league title in 50 years. The Haverford School District joins us in honoring Joanne Patterson as the recipient of the Robert J. Finucane Memorial Award. Congratulations, Joanne.
Thank you to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame for selecting me for this honor. The criteria for this award acknowledges recognition to an individual who has aspired to the top of their profession. No one individual accomplishes the logistics of an athletic program without those who contribute in their supporting roles. I therefore accept this award on behalf of all those individuals who have played a part in supporting me throughout my career at Haverford High School. It starts with school boards and administration believing and supporting that high school athletics provide student athletes a learning environment on the playing fields. Athletic directors act as captains of a team that set out to accomplish this goal for all of our student athletes. The games are the end result of a team effort that includes maintenance staff, transportation, administration, game workers, IT department, booster clubs, parents, and the student athletes. The quarterback of every athletic department is its coaching staff. I myself have had the honor of working with many of the top coaches in Delaware County. To name a few, Paul Bogosian, Joe Gallagher, Bobby Morgan, George Severini, Jay Williams, Mike Allen, Jim Jensen, Linda Jones, Terry McNichol, Keith Heinrichs, Lauren Pellegrin, Matt Stewart, Pete Cirilli, and Bob Newman. Our goal that all of us strive to achieve is to provide a positive experience for student athletes. All of tonight's inductees have accomplished this goal in their respective sports as either an athlete or a coach. For me, I consider myself fortunate to have the opportunity to experience a career that combined my background in business administration and my love for sports. To be able to wake up every morning and head to the job that you truly enjoy is something that a select few people get to enjoy in their life. Lastly, I'd like to thank my husband, Bob, and my family, who for 20 years plus have paced the Haverford schedule above the Patterson schedule. Not an easy task, but one that allowed me to work at a job that I loved. So thank you again to the committee for giving me this opportunity to acknowledge and share this honor with all of you who have worked in providing Delaware County athletes the opportunity to participate in athletics. Thank you.
The Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame Mike Mulholland Team Coach of the Year. Our Coach of the Year was finally able to capture the elusive title. In a 23-year career in which he's accumulated 428 victories, 7 District 1 championship, and 4 state final appearances, a win over Villa Maria gave the Springfield Cougars the state championship they had long sought and had deserved. He has developed so many players who have gone to excel at the collegiate level. His impact on young lives has been constant. The recipient of the Mike Mulholland Team Coach of the Year is Keith Broom. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Mike. I would like to thank the Delco Hall of Fame Committee for selecting me as the Mike Mulholland Coach of the Year for 2020. I'm incredibly humbled, especially given all of the outstanding coaches across all sports in Delaware County. I have had the pleasure to coach and learn from the best coaches in the area over my 30 years coaching. The key to any team are the players, and we all know that they can make the coach look really, really good. Our team did just that as they went on a terrific run to win our first state championship in girls lacrosse at Springfield High School. My name may be on the award, but we all know how important the coaching staff is to the success of the team. To the ladies I spend the best part of my day with, Kathleen Geiger, Sarah D'Amato, Jackie Grenier, and Allie Gormley, I know that I have learned so much more from them than they've learned from me. Thank you very much for this honor.
All right, it's time for the 50-50 winner. Seth Bruner from Garnet Valley has the money, which I trust him with, and possibly the winning ticket. Okay, here we go. The winning 50-50 ticket is 5398. Oh. 5398. We are accepting donations for the organization. We're no. No. That was very nice. Our first inductee of the evening burst on the University City campus after a tremendous career at Sun Valley, a 2005 graduate of Sun Valley, who I believe was honored by this organization as Athlete of the Year from that year. She was an excellent athlete, continued her career at the University of Pennsylvania, was the first three-year captain for the Cougars, and led them to the first Ivy League championship. A Scholastic All-American and the two-time All-Ivy selection, she received several of the highest honors, including the most outstanding female athlete in her senior year and the Elizabeth R. Burdick Award given to the most outstanding underclass female athlete. She played nationally for the U20, U21, and U23, and also the Finnish professional team PK35, where she was named Player of the Year in 2009. Please help me welcome Natalie Capuano to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame. Natalie, congratulations.
Thank you. First and foremost, I just want to thank the Delco Hall of Fame for this incredible honor, and I would also like to thank the committee for all their hard work in making this happen. I know it's been a long time coming. I'd also like to congratulate all of tonight's honorees and inductees. I'd like to thank all my coaches and teammates through the years, but would like to give a special shout out to Mr. Frank Ridpath. Mr. Ridpath was my basketball coach at Sun Valley, and unfortunately can't be here tonight, but has certainly had a very profound impact on me, so I'd like to acknowledge him for that. And of course, would like to thank my family. Nick, Marissa, Gab, thanks for always tagging along to the games growing up, even when I know you didn't probably want to most of the time. To my husband, Tom, and our boys, Vincent and Christian, who couldn't be here tonight, thank you for being my why every day. I love you guys. And last, but certainly not least, to my mom and dad. There's no way I'd be standing here right now if it weren't for the both of you. Thank you for all the sacrifices that you've made for me and the rest of the family over the years. And thank you for your unwavering love and support. Thank you, guys.
For nearly 50 years, our next inductee has made a difference on hundreds of athletes' lives. In a career that has had stops at Beverly Hills Middle School, to Upper Darby, to Penwood, and finally at Strathaven, success has followed him at every step. A cross-country mark of 167 and 10 since 2004. Over 100 state medal winners, an indoor and an outdoor record of 286 and 11 with 99 straight meet victories. Previously honored as Coach of the Year in Pennsylvania Track and Field Coaches Association in 2006 and the National Federation of High School Coaches Association in 2010, we proudly welcome Coach Bill Corin to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Coach.
Okay, I was told I have to be quick, so some of these are going to be jokes, some of you are going to get, and some of you aren't. However, it's my turn, so here we go. Ron Anderson, we graduated high school together. Both of us were interested in a number of Springfield girls, but neither of us ever had any success. Kevin Clancy, as a football coach, Kevin makes sure to never use any four-letter word. Pass, P-A-S-S. Pat Clancy, my athletic director, thanks for letting me spend my afternoons before practice in your office. I know you are pretending to listen to all my stories. Don't worry, I have plenty of stories to go. Terry Toohey, every time I ask him how the paper is doing, he says, they're still paying me, but not nearly enough. Harry Chaikin, Harry was a referee, and in one football game, he threw out my best player, and we lost to Ridley North. I can still see Harry running speedily to his car as my rather large assistant coach chased after him to discuss the game. Bill Stoll, Hall of Fame coach. Grady, Procaccio, Kim Fisher. In a scrimmage against Sun Valley, Stoll asked me if Kim could do a workout during the meet and run 8 events, and I could choose which 4 counted. It didn't matter, she won all 8. John Lon, coaching junior high boys and high school girls. Both John and I were viewed as somewhat crazy. I'm here tonight to tell him that Bill DeCampley said, quote, you were way crazier than me. Arnie Schifrin, coached with legend Fred Rosenfeld. The duo inspired a famous quote in Philly, when things look rosy, Schiff happens. Dean Lent, nicknamed Achilles, not for being a Greek hero. No, as a runner who's torn his Achilles 4 times, it will never stop running. Coach Ed, 13 fun years at Strathaven, but your memory will always last from the picture you took with every Haven State qualifier, whether you coached them or not. Glenn Venerini, nicknamed Mr. Softy, for buying the kids ice cream and extremely caring for each athlete. He coached CYO formerly and constantly reminds me that all my good girls were developed by him. Steve Ballmer, I went to his daughter's wedding. Steve gave a great speech. Steve is a great coach. He knows practice makes perfect. Steve, you should have practiced much more for that father-daughter dance. Al Novelli, never coached high school, but had a long winning streak coaching middle school track at Beverly Hills. He had many talented Greek athletes and has not paid for a slice of pizza since then. Dr. and Dr. Forbes, I know you both think that genetics was the reason for your 3 daughters' success, but I know it was my coaching. The Venerable Bob Jessen, for 2 years, he helped coach the girl sprinters. Before he would even announce the workout, the girls were crying. Once we left a girl in cross country at Lehigh. She ran after the bus and caught up. Bob said to her, quote, it's a shame you didn't run that fast in the meet. Coach McMillan, may he rest in peace. For 30 years, Mike was the caretaker for the 22 girls track teams in Delco. And yes, he did coach at 14 of those schools. Larry Simmons, rest in peace. We were going to States in the 4x400, and it was going to rain. Larry brought my girls new ponchos and told my girls he knew Coach Corin wouldn't buy them anything. Ron Porter, I coached Ronnie in high school in the javelin. Now as our javelin coach, Ronnie's 40 years old, but still acts like a teenage boy. Ryan McGlenzie, it took Ryan forever to propose to his new wife. It also takes Ryan forever to make our bus. Thea Carey. Thea still holds a state high jump record from, yes, 1978. Thea, that's 40 plus years ago, but the way you look, that seems impossible. Carla Williams. I coached her daughter. Carla wanted her to run the 400. Every time I put Shannon in the 400 group, she would say to me, "My mother called last night, didn't she?" Tim Steyer. A number of his throwers have broken records. Steyer set a record last year, losing 4 discs, 2 shots, and 2 tape measures. Lita Shubin, my sister-in-law, captained the cheerleaders at Overbrook a long time ago. No, she did not cheer for Wilt. It wasn't that long ago. My brother Richie, may he rest in peace. The only thing he knew about track was betting the horses, and he wasn't too good at that either. Alex Corin, my niece. She was a Miami Heat fan, but she moved to Philly, and we were going to plenty of Sixers games this year. She will cheer for us. Jonathan Metter, my son-in-law surfer. John, I don't care if it was in the Olympics, surfing is still not a sport. Elijah Metter, my grandson, my assistant coach. Elijah came to a cross-country meet with his watch, whistle, and hat. At first, he cheered for Strathaven, but in the middle of the race, he felt sorry for the Upper Darby girls and cheered for them instead. Rebecca Metter, my daughter. She played high school volleyball. Occasionally, I would yell out suggestions. Once I yelled a few too many times, and she said respectfully to me in the stands, "Dad, this is volleyball, you coach track." And finally, we celebrated our 50th anniversary in August. Baby, you're the greatest. Thank you all.
I did get encouraged because I thought the list was alphabetical when he got to Terry Toohey. There are a few greater honors than to represent your country in Olympic competition, but our next inductee did just that. In the 2008 Olympics, she placed 10th in the lightweight women's double scull after a dramatic qualifying event in Poland 2 months before the opening ceremonies of the Beijing Olympics. For 6 years, she was with the U.S. rowing team, competing around the world. A Hafford High and St. Joe's grad, learned how to row while on Hawk Hill as she served as team captain and earned MVP honors, earning a spot on the national team in 2003. Previously inducted in the St. Joseph's University Athletes Hall of Fame in 2010, please welcome Renee Heichel-Cuddy to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the Delaware County Sports Hall of Fame for the honor. Thank you so much to Patricia Misconti, who nominated me for this award. I know she did so long ago, and thank you for hanging in there with me. The road to the Olympics can be lonely. It can also be underfunded and unsupported, especially in a sport like rowing. So while I did have support from coaches and lots of people in the rowing community, tonight I want to thank my parents who were here. Through the years, in 2005, I won a silver medal and I got funding from the USOC. In 2007, when I lost the trial by coming in second, my funding went away, as did my health insurance and all my support. My parents stepped in and helped me. They helped me with lots of things over the years, and you don't hear it from too many people in Olympic sports, but most of us aren't funded. Most of us are supported by friends and family and our parents. I also, in 2007, was training in London in the cold, wet, dark weather and desperately wanted to quit the sport. And it was my mother who encouraged me to keep going for it. So tonight, I really just want to thank my parents for making it possible for me. Everyone else has already been thanked at various other events, but I never take the time to thank them. So thanks, Mom and Dad.
You ready, Mike? All right. When we were last together, we inducted another great Pencrest coach, Bob Wozliak, with the 68-69 team. Today, we honor another great Pencrest coach, lifelong Delaware County resident, who currently holds the distinction of being the all-time winningest coach in school histories with over 230 wins coming into this season. The Lions have made 11 straight district appearances and advanced to the state tournament in 4 of the last 5 years, back-to-back District 1 titles and a Central League title. An outstanding player at Cardinal O'Hara and then at Philadelphia Textile. He's very involved in the community and has helped raise over $150,000 for the Coaches First Cancer Program. From Pencrest High School, Coach Mike Doyle is the latest inductee to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Mike. Okay, 2 minutes, here we go. Congratulations to the other inductees, and thank you to the Delco Athletic Hall of Fame Committee for this prestigious honor. When I was thinking about this award, the first thing that came to me was that I might be the least responsible for it. First, my parents, who taught me to respect the game and made sure I got to every game and practice early. COVID risks has kept them away from tonight, but they continue to support me and come to my games even to this day. Second, the coaches I've played for and under. I'd like to say I've been classically trained. Played for Buddy Gardler at O'Hara, Herb McGee at Textile, working for the late, great Jim Boyle, as well as John Griffin, and of course my good friend Phil Martelli at St. Joe's. The players. There's never been a coach who stood here without tremendous players. As much as I've taught them, I can never thank them for what they've taught me. For as good as players that I've had, they've been better people. My assistant coaches. I don't think any coach has surrounded themselves with such high-level assistants and lifelong friends. 17 of my former assistants have gone on to be head coach of high school or college assistants. 2 are here tonight, Sean Tate and Chris Conlon. And my main assistant and wingman, my brother Leo, who really taught me a love of the game. I am forever indebted. A shout out to the Pencrest staff and administration, Chip Ollinger, who's always been so supportive of me and our program. And finally, my dream team, my family. You went into my Hall of Fame a long time ago. I'm sorry for all the things I've missed along the way, but thank God for video. Liam, who I'm coaching now at Pencrest, Anna Lee, playing lacrosse at Widener, Katie, who played lacrosse at Scranton, is now coaching at Pencrest, and Michael, who feels he should be in here for his career at Pencrest and Cabrini also. He's now a D1 assistant at LaSalle University. And the most important person in my life, my beautiful wife, who's lived with every single bounce of the ball for 30 years. And if you've ever been to a Pencrest game, you know that's true. I couldn't have done it without her. Kelly, thank you again.
We're going to thank our photographer, Akil Anaway, who's here tonight, filling in for Akil. Thank you for being here. Tom McCaffrey back on video from Astera Video. Thank you, Tom. I understand that video will be eventually uploaded to the website for those who would like to relive this night over and over and over again. When slow pitch was at its peak in the county, our next inductee was considered one of the best pitchers and shortstops. In a career that spanned 3 decades, he was known as the captain on championship teams in top leagues. 6-time winner of the Daily Times Tournament of Championships and was named MVP in 1987. He finished runner-up in the ASA Nationals and was a key member of 2 ASA Class C state championships with J.C. Perry and Willowbrook. Many of his former teammates are here today, and we posthumously induct Alfie Fioravanti to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame, accepting for Alfie one of his teammates and good friends, George McVeigh. George?
Congratulations, George. Good evening. I'm here to accept this award from my friend Alfie. Having played with him for over 20 years on various teams in Delaware County, I had the opportunity to see how good of a player he was. No matter where you put him in the infield, he did a great job. He was an excellent fielder, and at the plate, he was an outstanding hitter and one of the best clutch hitters you ever signed. He also was an excellent basketball and ping pong player. He was always a team player and a humble player. If he was here, I'm sure he'd say he didn't deserve this, but anybody who ever played with him or against him enough would certainly say that's not true. So I'd like to thank everybody who voted for him. I'm sure he would appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but George McVeigh may be the leader in the clubhouse. I had the privilege of chronicling our next inductee's career at Ridley High School. Here's the typical Friday afternoon for our next inductee. In the afternoon, she would play for the Green Raiders in field hockey, then head to the football game and cheer on as a member of the cheerleading squad, and then at halftime would put her pom-poms down and pick up a saxophone and play as a member of the marching band. She also played basketball and lacrosse. Then she headed to Penn State and was a 4-year defender for the Nittany Lions. 3 times the blue and white made it deep into the NCAA tournament. Her attention then turned to coaching with stops at Covenant School in Virginia, leading them to a state championship. Western Albemarle for 3 years, each winning a regional championship. Collegiately, she coached at Princeton, Centenary College, and then returned to Penn State. She's back on the sidelines gratefully as the head coach of the state college girls lacrosse team. Please welcome Tara Rollick Hohenschelt to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame.
I'm definitely not winning the hoagie. I'm very upset about that because Michael's Sandwich Shop is my go-to. The take-home hoagies are phenomenal, by the way. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the committee for the Delaware County Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank all of the honorees. I see Keith Broom and Kathleen Geiger back there. They are legends in this sport. You both need to be up here. You're sitting there. You should be right up here way before me. But just, I know the time and the work and the effort that you all put in has been tremendous. And we're so grateful for this. This is such a tag-along Tara moment for me. I told Mike Iannacci today, my heroes don't wear capes, they wear kilts and uniforms, and they wear whistles. And, I happened to be at the right place at the right time, growing up at Ridley and being in the Delaware County area. I feel this is a very surreal, very humbling moment that my name was even brought up. So thank you for this honor. 2 years ago, I stepped down from my coaching position at Penn State University. I was an assistant with the women's lacrosse team. I had 15 years in, and I moved over into Rec Hall as the administrative support assistant. So I support Penn State women's soccer, men's soccer, and the women's volleyball team. So I deal a lot with, on the phone, things about game day operations, maybe transportation, maybe locker rentals. Last night I got a phone call asking if the Penn State football game was going to be on during the women's volleyball game in Rec Hall, and I had to say, no, that doesn't happen. So, just crazy things. So I got a phone call, and I answered it normally like I would. I said, Rec Hall, this is Tara, and the voice on the other line said, hi, Tara, this is John Leary with the Delaware County Hall of Fame. And I don't think I heard Hall of Fame. I heard Delaware County, and I screamed because I was so excited, and I think I said something very intelligent along the lines of, no way, I'm from Delaware County too, and he's like, yeah, I know. That's why I'm calling. And I was like, okay. So, that was 2 years ago, but I still have goosebumps standing here in front of you, and I just want to thank you for the time. Nobody loves Delco more than the people from Delco, right? It's true. And I feel it, and I carry you with me every single day, every single time I step in front of my team. I'm on a field to compete. I have got Delco toughness, and the people here have just helped ingrain that in me. I came here tonight. My in-laws, Bill and Nancy Hohenschelt, are in from Harrisburg. They traveled here. I have my best friend Amanda, who's here today. Ken Nallinger is here, who's my 9th grade bio teacher. He's here. God bless him. I've got my Penn State crew. These guys are Delco legends here, and we battled on the field when we were here in high school, but these girls are my sisters. They're awesome. I've got my brother David and his wife Nicole. My other brother Terry is working. My sister-in-law is pregnant. She couldn't be here, but these guys are my biggest cheerleaders. I'm here with our 3 children, Jake, Reese, and Axel. They were not born here in Delco, but they wish they were, and they ask me every day, please, Mom, tell me stories about Delaware County. They're like, yeah, no. I talk about it incessantly because I want them to have the same kind of childhood that we did. Everything was competitive, and everything was, it's a happy talent to know how to play, right?
and we're happy doing this. I have my husband here tonight, Dennis. He's an assistant coach with the Penn State women's volleyball team, so I had the luxury of driving today while he did the scouting report on Purdue. But for him to be here, it's one of the first times he's actually been able to be here. He's my rock. He's my go-to. He has 4 national championships under his belt, but I'd like to remind him that my head coaching record is slightly better than his. And I have my mom and dad, Bill and Carol Rollick. These guys have done everything to sacrifice so that my brothers and I had everything we wanted. We're first generation college grads, and they're here tonight. God bless them. You guys are the best. You know, I'd like to just give a quick shout out to the Ridley Park Athletic Club for teaching us early on what it means to be part of something bigger. To the Ridley School District, when you have Ted Beck and Jack Cleghorn in charge, you know something crazy good's gonna happen. I see Keith Heinrichs over there smiling because he knows it's true. But to be surrounded by people like Deb Schnellenbach, Jackie Neary, Ron DeFelice for field hockey, Rick Gamble, Don Tutton, Walt Soroka for track, Diane Welch, Mitch McDermott, Chris Vitale, Ken Nallinger, Mike Iannacci did my highlight video tape for college. And a tape, it was a VHS. The poor guy spent countless hours. God bless him. Give him a round of applause because that's not easy. Back in the day, we did not have cell phones. We didn't have Snapchat. We did not have Facebook. Instagram. We had Harry Chaikin, right? Harry, you're a number one guy. Number one guy. We had Terry Toohey and we had Chick Riebel. And listen, it's Harry Chaikin's articles. Thank God he put the spotlight here because he's one of the main reasons why my name got into the hands of college coaches and helped me get to that next level. I've got my, going to Penn State. Sue Delaney Sheets, who's from Penncrest, she was leading the way. I got coached by Karen Schnellenbach. We know the Schnellenbach name. Marianne Foley-Schiller, who's here today. She's a Marple grad. She was one of my coaches. Sitting with her is Megan Smith-Fazano, All-American National Championship winner. We have Pigeon Graham. She's the head coach of Strathaven. Andrea Heinrichs and Tamara Crombie. These guys are my go-tos. Right out of college, I got a phone call from Karami Enos Borby, who's another Penncrest grad. She's coaching at Swarthmore, Chris Saylor at Princeton. These guys just kind of helped me find my voice. I'm currently in a spot where I'm coaching. I know I'm over the 2 minutes. I've lost everything. I lost it for everybody. But just, it's really important to go by the motto, remember who you are, where you're from, and what you represent, and I just take you with me every day. Thank you so much. Good luck. Congrats.
Tara, I make exceptions for Ridley grads. There is no time limit for a Ridley grad. One of the best ever to coach on the baseball diamond, leading the Marple Newtown Tigers for 42 years, winning 8 Central League titles, coaching better than 50 All-Central players. Yeah. Also coached the Tigers girls basketball team to a league title. I hope that's the Marple table. Tigers are fired up tonight, huh? 9-time winner of the Lou Bonder Award and a 2012 inductee into the Marple Newtown Hall of Fame. And I have to say, when he used to coach against us at Ridley, when I would be there, I'd be scared to death of this guy. I mean, he was like John Wayne as the coach. He was serious-looking guy. Please help me welcome Coach Ray Johnston to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame.
The last person used my 2 minutes, so thank you very much. Actually, she was great. She pinned this on me, so I appreciate it, believe me. This is an honor, a humbling experience to receive this award. I'm grateful to John Leary and his committee for the selection. A group of great people, an unbelievable job putting this together 3 times. So I appreciate your hard work. I want to thank Keith Heinrichs for the nomination. Keith, I coached against one of the greats, Steve Younger. I hope you become the next Steve Younger. I want to thank my lovely wife, Trina, 2 kids, Laura and Joel, for sharing this night and this ride with me. I derive great pleasure, thoroughly enjoy my coaching experience against some of the highly regarded coaches in the area. Ace Bell, Paul Bogosian, Jim Bach, George Bennett, Charlie Kress, and many others. They are not only great people, they do much for their communities. One of the goals I had as a coach was to help players get into college and possibly attain a scholarship for playing baseball. We had players in almost every college in the area. One of the greatest assets I had were the sports writers. Delaware County Times. They kept great stats. They wrote great articles. And I would use them to send to college coaches. And I really thank you for your help. This is an organization that was developed in 1939. So was I. So this gave me an opportunity to not only coach young people, but to watch them grow into great human beings. I had the opportunity to catch whole families, the Coins, the Bars, the Gickings, and others. I am so proud to be in this house. Thank you very much.
In the game of fast-pitch softball, the pitcher plays a great role in the team's success. 2-time All-Catholic selection Archbishop Prendergast continued pitching in a career that led to 3 state championships, 11-time Del Val fast-pitch champion, 7-time All-Star. In 1985, she threw a perfect game in a semifinal playoff game. Her career mark, 285 wins, 178 losses, 392 strikeouts, and a microscopic ERA of 1.06. Previously inducted into the ASA Pennsylvania Sports Softball Hall of Fame, please welcome Nancy Keeley to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Nancy. Oh, bye, fans. Do I get a prize for speaking under 2 minutes? I just want to know if I get a hoagie or something, cheesesteak. First of all, I think to start off this, my speech, I just wanted to put our hands together and give an applause for the committee. They put so much time and endless hours into making this happen. I mean, I know Teresa has her spreadsheets and all the above, but really, honestly, you guys did a great job, and we're all here. I'm lucky we all made it. I do feel so honored to be here tonight, to be among all the elite athletes here. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm so humbled by this. I'm just astonished. I'm really happy. A special shout out I have to a very, very good friend of mine for years, Jeannie McCandless, who nominated me. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you. Just the fact that I was considered for this honor I am totally humbled by it. It really, really meant a lot to me. To my family, friends, and fans, of course, the fans are the best. Thank you for your support over all those years in my career. My sister driving me, I'm sorry. What else is new? My sister driving me to, practices and I was a kid and so forth. It's just so much support, and I really, really, honestly, thank you for that. Lastly, I wouldn't be up here tonight if it wasn't for my teammates. They mean everything to me. They're family. When I used to walk out onto the field, onto the mound, just the confident level I felt because they were all behind me. Just made me do my thing, whatever that is, you know? I just was out there to play and have a good time. So I like to share this award with all my teammates. I think they should have a piece of it, actually, because I wouldn't be standing here tonight. So thank you, everybody. I love you. You're my family as well. And you're the reason I'm here tonight. So thank you so much, everybody.
Our next inductee, an accomplished athlete in really 3 sports, one of the first females to play in the Chester East Little League, a track star at Cardinal O'Hara, and then playing collegiate softball at a high level at Delaware County Community College. She played in area women's softball leagues such as the Delaware County Women's Fast Pitch, and in 1989 represented the county and an international tournament in Ontario. Also competing on the world stage in the Can-Am Police and Fire Games, earning 3 gold medals, reaching and maintaining All-American status in the Police and Fire World Games with a bronze medal in the 100, 200, and 4x100 relay. Recently, she was named as the first woman to lead the U.S. Probation Office as the Chief U.S. Probation Officer in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. We welcome Jana Gifford Law to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame.
I want to thank the Delaware County Athlete Hall of Fame members who voted for me. I'd like to thank the Delaware County Athlete Hall of Fame Board for their support and their commitment to athletics in this county, a county filled with great athletes and just proud, hardworking people. I'd like to congratulate this class, all of whom are so deserving. I am very humbled to just be part of this. I'd like to thank Sam Mignatello for nominating me in 2014 and appreciate the fact that he took the time to get to know me and understand my backstory. I've had a few great coaches in my life, Joe Shields at Cardinal O'Hara, Steve Medvid in the Delco Fast Pitch League. I'm sure, like many of you, I fell in love with baseball at an early age. More important, I came to understand the unique power that sports has to bring people together and to be a source of pride, inspiration, and conversation everywhere. It's really universal. Of all the people in my life, I owe so much to my dad, who well before it was politically correct, he put a little girl, 10 years old, on a field with all boys, didn't start me in right field, he put me at shortstop. And what that did for my confidence was amazing then, but I think it really set the platter for my future and what it meant to go into a male-dominated field in law enforcement. I said it at his funeral, and I'll say it here. To all the fathers out there, never underestimate the value of the love and support that you give your children and what that means to them, especially to your daughters. I'd like to thank my mother, who I'm still lucky enough to have over at table 9. She's 83 years old, and I think she could still run a 50-yard dash. My brother Butch, who's a great athlete himself, who every Sunday growing up, after watching the WWF, it was the WWF then, not the WWE, he would wrestle with me and do the big off the back rope, into the corner, ding-a-ling, diddling, ding-ding, and would toughen me up. But it worked, And I appreciate that because it's not a coincidence, Butch, that I ended up playing both sports that you yourself excelled in, and that it's not a coincidence I was fast either because I had to run away from you. I'm extremely grateful to Carlos Law, who's a phenomenal athlete, and I'm sure one of the most well-known and well-liked individuals in this field, in this office, right here. Carr played a critical role in supporting both my athletic and my professional endeavors, and I can tell you that I would not be up here if it was not for everything that Carlos did for me, especially during the early years of our lives together. Whenever someone who's part of a team gets acknowledged, it goes without saying that there's a lot of people that helped along the way. I want to thank Heather Cochran-Kloss, who is by far the best first baseman, the best number 4 hitter, and the very best friend one could ever ask for. She's here at table 9 along with my niece Kristen, who, Kristen, I was in 7th grade when you were born. I think I was 13, and I was always proud to be your aunt. You're a tremendous force to be reckoned with. I love you, and you're inspirational to all of us in the family. I'd like to make a public apology to you, though, for forcing you to leave one of my first softball championships. I was convinced with my crazy superstition that she brought bad luck because we were losing, and I told her to go on the other side of the field. And I know, it was terrible, okay, but it did work, because after she left, I hit the game-winning RBI, I'm just saying. It's said that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. My fiance, Spencer Staples, came into my life at precisely the right time. And there were some really dark days early on, and Spence, you made them bright again and gave me a lot of hope for the future. Of all of your qualities, you are the kindest person I know, and because of you, I strive every day to be a better person. And last but not least, my son Chase, who is my greatest source of stress, but he has and always will be my greatest source of joy. I am so proud of you, a recent University of Florida graduate. Go Gators. But you've accomplished so much, and if I don't tell you enough, Chase, I am really, really proud of you, of all the things that I've achieved. Being your mother has been my absolute favorite job in the world. I love you, and I applaud your commitment to physical health and fitness, and I know that I will always have a gym partner. Thank you.
I don't know if it was me, but I saw some twitching in seats when I announced that she was from the probation office in Eastern. Hope nobody recognizes her, or if you do. After a multi-sport career at Sun Valley, where she served as a 2-sport captain, she played basketball, field hockey at Rosemont College. Her name is etched in the Ravens record book as a 4-year letter winner, and she started every game with a career scoring mark of over 1,720 points, a single game scoring mark of 40 points, and a 76% field goal percentage, and the team's leader in blocks. Please help me welcome Ashley Montecchio to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame.
Hi, everyone. First, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for giving me this honor. After hearing everything that the other inductees have achieved, I'm just honored to be in this group, so thank you so much. This is such a special event, and the work you guys put in is obvious, and I appreciate it. I want to thank, as far as coaches go, Andy McGovern for bringing me to Rosemont College. I want to thank Rain Reber, who also coached me in college, probably the best coach I've ever had. Huge impact on me. My favorite teammate of all time is here tonight, Liz Coyne. She's here because she comes from a long line of very athletic people. Her dad was inducted into the Hall of Fame a couple years ago. Her Aunt Jen is actually going to be inducted as soon as I'm done talking. And Liz actually broke like all of my records a year after I graduated college, which is fine, I guess. But she also pushed me to be the best I could be, so thank you so much, Liz. I love you. She's also a great time at parties. I want to thank my husband, Ryan, our two kids who are here tonight, Theo and Octavia, my niece, Mallory, who's here to support me tonight. I want to thank my parents, who, not just for being here to support me, but for driving me all over the place my whole life, paying for really expensive AAU leagues and everything else parents do to get us where we are right now as far as athletes. Who else? I want to thank my dad especially for nominating me for this award, because I know it took him like 4 hours typing like this with his big sausage fingers at a computer to list all of my accomplishments from the time I was in like 4th grade till now. So thank you, whoever was on the committee that had to read through that probably just felt so beaten down by the end that they just let me have this award. But I'm going to take it and run with it, so thank you.
It should be mentioned too that Bob Coyne just ended a 75-year teaching career at Ridley. He got no Peasers money with his retirement because he stayed there too long. He ran our wood shop, and the kids produced some really good stuff, sometimes when Bob was actually there, which was good. There was one Saul incident. Bob wasn't there that day. Or that's what he told the attorney. And now the 6 separations of the coins. One of the top Tigers of all time, 3-sport, 3-letter winner in field hockey, basketball, and lacrosse, earning both All Central and All Delco honors. She won a pair of league titles and a state championship in lacrosse. Here's the most incredible thing. She only lost 1 game in her entire high school lacrosse career. She then moved on to the University of Delaware. She continued to excel in field hockey and lacrosse, reaching the NCAA Division I Final Four. She coached field hockey and lacrosse in Colorado, winning a state championship. Please help me welcome one of the best ever to wear the orange and black of Marple, Jenny Coyne Moran. All right, Jenny.
Thank you, Mike. First, I'd like to thank the Delaware County Hall of Fame for hosting this amazing event after a year and a half. This is incredible. I'd like to thank my family and friends that are here at those 2 tables in the back, the loud ones. I'm not going to mention them by name, but they know who they are. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your support. I need to thank my mom and dad for their everlasting love and support, and mostly for giving me 3 athletic brothers. That made things a lot easier for me. My brothers taught me almost everything I know about sports. The first thing they taught me was to be competitive. And believe me, growing up in our household was extremely competitive, as still is to this day, and that's why I moved to Colorado. They also taught me to be a team player. And without my teammates, I certainly wouldn't be standing here today. I have to mention some of my dear friends and teammates. Patty Kennedy goes by PK. Patty Goodyear goes by PG. I'll stop. No, Linda Rullo, Linda Giuliani, Lucy Elliker, Brenda Reese, and Susie Reichley, among just a few teammates that made me successful. I really, truly believe that it is the team that makes the individual successful and not the other way around. Okay, next, I would like to recognize and thank the best role model I could have ever had in my life, and that's my dear beloved sister-in-law, Jean, who she was not only my role model as a athlete, but also as a person, and she always will be. Last but not least, I need to thank my coaches, Joanne Yesko for lacrosse, Debbie Bonder for field hockey, Jim Schmidt and Ray Johnson, who was honored earlier tonight, actually is the only coach that all three of my brothers and I had the great fortune and privilege of having and calling him coach. I'd like to also congratulate the rest of the honorees here tonight. And again, thank you so much to the Delaware County Hall of Fame for hosting. I feel very honored and blessed. Thank you.
Boy, this next inductee made me work with her profile because it kept on changing as the weeks got closer to the dinner. Her name has been synonymous with coaching excellence since her debut on the sidelines in 1986 at the Academy of Notre Dame. Returning to her alma mater of Haverford to lead the Fords, her teams were always well coached and successful. Career record of 326 and 139, 7 league titles, numerous postseason appearances. Next stop was Cabrini, where the Cavs averaged 16 wins a game, 16 wins a season, captured league titles, and earned a berth in the NCAA tournament. This past July, she stepped down as the head coach at Haverford College, where her teams were known for their defense. They had made 8 straight playoff appearances, and twice she's been named as the Conference Coach of the Year. And she recently was named as the head coach at Ursinus College. Please help me welcome Bobby Morgan to the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame.
Just to add my thanks to the committee and the Delco Hall of Fame. It's really neat to be here. As I look around this room tonight, in every corner, I see people who came into my life through athletics, whether it's the guys from the paper, people from lacrosse, people that I know from the Central League. So it really is wonderful that you all do this and bring people together. 35 years ago, I graduated from the University of Richmond and I couldn't find a job. So I answered an ad in the Mainline Times to coach in the Narberth Summer League. They were just starting a league for girls. And I knew at that moment, when I did that for that first summer, that this was something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I never got to do it full time until the last 20 years, but it's really been a labor of love, and I am so grateful. I'm grateful to the game of basketball because of the people it brought into my world. I'm grateful to my brother, Peter, who is a St. Joe grad, and when I was 7 years old, let me come to practice to watch Jack McKinney and his team run around. I didn't know then that this was what I was going to do, but I think there's a big reason for that. I'm grateful to all the coaches who I got to work with, and with 35 years, it's in the hundreds of players that I have coached. I consider them my good friends, and I feel so grateful that they're still in my life. I'm thankful for the administrators I worked with. A special shout out to Joanne Patterson, who I had the privilege of working with for 14 years, and the coaches I coached against, one of whom, Ray Johnston, is one of the greatest gentlemen in Delaware County. So I want to thank my family, obviously Patrick, my son Connor, my daughter Riley. They grew up in Younger Gymnasium during my years at Haverford High. The parents watched them because my husband was too busy watching the game, but I heard stories that they were running all over the place. I want to thank my husband, John, who has put up for so many years of late nights, missed dinners. He is the cook in the family, thank goodness. There's one other person at the table where I'm sitting, and I would like to recognize him. His name is George Campbell. He's 94 years old. He's a World War II veteran. Those of you that are familiar with Delaware County sports and Haverford High know that George Campbell is Mr. Haverford. So George, you came into my life because of basketball, and another reason why I'm so grateful. So I want to thank everybody again. I've actually taken my first job outside of Delaware County. I'm a little nervous, but I will not be far. Delco will be in the house. I'll be coaching with Kim Smith, Bridget DeCave. And if anybody knows any players, I just started 2 weeks ago, so I need some recruits. Thank you.
I want to also thank John Walk for providing the sound tonight from JMW Entertainment. Thank you, John. Our next inductee is a 1984 Sun Valley graduate who is a member of Coach Bob Fithian's last championship team, drew the eye of college recruiters and landed on North Broad Street playing for the current Tampa Bay Bucks head coach Bruce Arians. A 3-year starter for the Cherry and White at left guard, he blocked for 1987 Heisman runner-up and NCAA leading rusher Paul Palmer. He played minor league football for the Charlotte Barons, then turned his attention to coaching, served as an assistant at his alma mater, and has also coached at Chester, Westchester East, and Chichester. As always in his playing career, he has cleared a path for his induction into the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame. Please welcome Chris Pacetti.
Yeah, I was coming up here and I heard a guy in the back said, oh, he's going to be quick. He's going to want to win the hoagie. I heard you, sir. But in all fairness, this is an incredible honor, and I can't thank Delaware County enough. And what makes it so special is my greatest friends, my closest friends are here to share it with me. My sister-in-law's here, who's really like the sister I never had. My nephews and nieces, I don't have children. They'd be hard to compare to. And then there's my brothers. My brothers are my world. The only thing missing from this incredible night is my parents aren't here. They were the most genuine people I've ever known. We were instilled, I can talk for the brothers, how to be humble, giving, always give back. Remember where you came from, because it was always given to us. And I'm losing my thought, but they just, they were just two people we looked up to, and we just wanted to impress them. And I'll end with this. Winning's a great thing. Championships are unbelievable. But the greatest honor I ever had was when I left the football field, I'd come up the tunnel and go up to the top of the steps, and my father would be waiting there and say he played a great game. I strived for that, and I know my brothers did. I'm so blessed to be part of this, and thank you so much for this great honor.
Our final inductee of the evening, beginning in 1986, he has led the Garnet Valley Jaguars, one of only 5 coaches in Delco history to win at least 200 games. Since their entry into the Central League in 2008, they have won 5 league titles, but have extended that success to the district and state level, 16 postseason appearances. Over more than 100 of his players have gone to play collegiately. Recently announced that this would be his final season on the sidelines, and the Jags, as typical, are off to a great start at 7-0. The Delco Athletes Hall of Fame proudly welcomes Mike Rickey.
Leave it to the Ridley guy to short us 2 league championships. After they get more than 5, they have to use their fingers, their toes. I'll help you out with that, Mike. As the head coach, the other coaches in here can tell you, and Mike Doyle said a lot of what I wanted to say, there are a lot of different layers and a lot of different facets to being a coach. And the first one is philosophy. You have to have a philosophy. And my philosophy was shaped by my parents. And I was fortunate, you don't get to pick your parents, but I wouldn't trade mine for anything. From the time I was little and my 2 brothers and sister, we all were involved in sports. The number one priority was not to win the game, but to be a good teammate, to be humble, to do everything you could to be the best contributor you could on that team. and to be thankful for the people who helped you along the way. And I'm so glad that I had parents who instilled that in me, and I know my siblings are as well. As I got older and I had different coaches, the second part of my philosophy really happened. I was fortunate to have Marty Cross as a swim coach when I was a youngster. To this day, I would do anything for Marty Cross. In high school, I had two of the great coaches of all time. Steve Lennox was one of my assistant coaches, and Lee Sibley. And from those guys, I learned how to be a coach, what it is to be a coach, how to teach, and an educational approach to coaching is what it's all about. When I got to college, I played for a guy named Scott Dabb. All these people were tremendous influences on me, which then translated into the football program that we have at Garnet Valley. You know, we talk, our words are selflessness, hard work, and character. And we feel like those are choices that everybody can make. If you choose to be selfless, if you choose to work hard, if you choose to have character, all the other stuff takes care of itself. We never talk about winning. We actually say football is the least important thing that we do. And again, all because of the fortunate position I've been in and to be influenced by so many great people. Once we got the program up and running, the assistant coaches that we have, I would not trade the assistant coaching staff I had at Garnet Valley. If you came and told me you could have any staff in the country, I would say, no, I'm going to keep the ones that we have right here. They're not only great football people, but more importantly, they're great people. And when we win this award tonight, when Delaware County chooses to induct me into the Hall of Fame, they're not inducting Mike Rickey into the Hall of Fame. They're inducting our entire program, our entire coaching staff, and the players through the years. Now, this is 38 years I've been at Garnet Valley, 35 years as the head coach. And I've been so fortunate during that time to have so many wonderful players and wonderful families come through the program. It's not easy to ask a 17-year-old kid to be selfless and to put your teammates first. But time and time and year out, our guys have done that. And somebody once said that, you know, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. And I can honestly say that I never felt, not one time, have I worked a single hour of my life. When my children were old enough to start to go to school, we moved into the Garnet Valley School District. And one of the reasons we moved into that district is so that my children could be part of the phenomenal community that's there. So from the time my oldest son, Jonathan, was a little boy, he started to come to football camp, a water boy on the sidelines. He went on to play at Garnet Valley. He now plays at the University of Delaware. My son, Matthew, the same thing, is now a senior on our Garnet Valley team. My daughters, Teresa and Natalie, play field hockey at the school. But for me, to be able to have them as part of my everyday, there's been nothing better. My nieces, my nephews also went to Garnet Valley. It's real. I've been truly blessed throughout my career. So thank you to all those people. Thank you to the committee. Congratulations. And finally, I want to thank my wife, Connie. Those of you who are here know sports, and you know it's never easy to be the coach's wife. And the sacrifices that they make and the things that they keep to themselves when they want to say some things, it's not always easy to do that. So thank you, and congratulations, everybody. Enjoy your evening.
All right, every time at this dinner, at this point in the dinner, we ask all those who were previously inducted into this Hall of Fame to please stand at your seat to be recognized. If you've previously been inducted before tonight, again, we thank our sponsors tonight that hung with us. Team Toyota of Glen Mills, KBX Golden, Ernle Company, Cirilli Associates, Premier Orthopedics, and just at the end of the night he loses his notes. Let me make sure and get this. Mike Mulholland, Long and Foster Real Estate Team, Cirilli Associates, Ernle Company Incorporated, and Dan Jolell Memorial Homes. People are dying to get in there. I saved that to last. All right, so if you are not a member of the Delaware County Athletes Hall of Fame and you like what you saw tonight, you looked through the book and said, hey, there's somebody missing, you can join for a $20 membership. You go online to delcohalloffame.org. That gives you, if you join as a member, that gives you voting privileges. You don't have to be a member to nominate someone, again, but we encourage you to become a member. That's the way that you get a ballot every year and you get to vote, and it's only $20. And you also receive the monthly newsletter that John writes and then Nick edits to cut it down to 2 minutes. So you can read it actually. It's a Nick Cirilli newsletter. You can actually read the newsletter in 2 minutes or less. I think our Hoagie winner, George McVeigh, right? George McVeigh. George will be back next year as our guest speaker. We will conclude this afternoon and early evening program with a benediction delivered by Reverend Charles O'Hara. Reverend O'Hara.
Before we leave this evening, let us take just a moment of quietness and a moment of seeking God's Spirit to be with us and bless us as we conclude this evening. And let us be conscious of all those things that have been giftedness to us. And let's take a moment to be thankful. Lord, we give you praise and thanks for this opportunity to gather. We give praise and thanks for the opportunities that we who are athletes who have been able to be fostered in so many ways by family, coaches, teammates, and our opponents. We ask you to move our spirit to continually be aware of a continued journey of life that brings forth the goodness of life from us that we've learned from others who have taught us. Walk with us and our families who have supported us. May the goodness of your Spirit lead us to bring forth a holiness in life for our country, those we walk in life with and journey with, and for our own journey. May we find a way to be sacred in our living and our giving. Thank you for this night, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to share in the journey of the athletes who remember the goodness of their lives. May it also be a blessing for us. Amen.
We want to thank you for your attendance. We hope to see you in April for our 82nd dinner. Good night, everybody. Please drive safely.